Yo, what's good, everybody? Frank here, and I got a little more spicy drama for you, mama. Yes, my favorite secret sauce. Now, today, we're talking about Stormland. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, understandable. Now, this is an older game at this point in time. Wild to even think that it's an older game. But yes, this was made by Insomniac Games specifically for the Oculus Rift. And if I'm being honest, it was one of the best VR games that I've ever played. You could, like, fly around everywhere. You got climb on all this stuff. You get to get lifted up in these storms and you'd fly. The map was huge. You could go in daily and it would adjust to move around the place. It would take like a whole week to beat the whole map and get to the main final level. There were all these cool weapons. It was the first game that had this awesome mechanic where now if you're on the Quest 3 and you double tap the side of your headset, it brings you into mixed reality and then brings you back into VR. In this game, if you single tap the side of your Oculus Rift, it would bring up this really cool HUD. And it was the first time I'd seen that in a game, and that blew me away. And I've wanted to see it in a lot more titles, and I'm surprised that I haven't. But it also had a really cool wrist thing you could kind of work with and do things. Like, they really pushed a lot of interesting things in VR, and on top of that, it was a story-driven title, and you had to kind of collect all the pieces. The tutorial was great. It was seriously one of the highest quality VR games that I'd ever played, and one of the best and cleanest, and felt really good. And I remember talking to the devs about the game, and they initially had it where you could just climb on certain little surfaces, and at the end they were like, you know what, we just made it so you climb everything. So you could seriously just climb everything in the game, and it did come out at the time where there were a lot more climby games, but at the same time there were less climby games, so that wasn't a big point where people are like, oh, I just don't want to climb. This climbing felt great. Grabbing and just pulling yourself up felt really good. You could just float after you were climbing. Like, it was seriously, the way it felt, the way you moved, the way the mechanics worked, the way the gunplay worked. It was one of the best games that I'd ever played. But seriously, the reason we're talking about it today is because they pulled it off the store, which is wild to me. I don't think this is the first time that Oculus Meta has pulled a game off of their store before. I think if you still own it, you can play it for as long as you want, but you can never buy this game again. And it's weird to me because it's a really, really, really great VR game. Now, I don't recommend it as often because I don't think about it, and most people aren't just buying games from the official Rift store because the Quest store is great. It's so easy to just grab stuff from. Also, there's Side Quest, also there's App Lab. So there's just all these other places that have happened and coalesced, and I feel like people that are on PC are typically in the Steam store, so you're probably not even gonna think there. You're gonna grab it if maybe you watch one of those videos that are like, what are the only Oculus Rift exclusive games that you could only play there, and maybe it's on one of those lists, or you just were looking at Insomniac Games because you love the stuff that they make and you see it on those lists. So I can understand maybe them pulling it might be a little stealth launch, but there was news about it today and people made a big deal. And the reason not a huge deal, I mean, I make it a bigger deal because I like this game and it's sad that people don't get to play it again. But what I'm hoping for is that now that PlayStation owns Insomniac Games, that maybe it was some level of timed exclusivity. I have no idea. It may have been a fully funded metagame where we'll never see it again and it's just completely gone. My hopes are that maybe we'll see it on PlayStation VR 2, cleaned up, improved. If that's the case, this game is phenomenal. Like, this game is one of those, it's gonna just top, it may not top some of those little like Beat Saber, smaller experience kind of things that you have, but seriously, compared to any kind of like RPG shooter style game you've ever played, just you'll throw that off the table and this will be your favorite game of all time. So those are my hopes. I'm hoping that we'll see this game come to PlayStation VR 2. I have no idea whatsoever. I don't know what the background is. It might just be gone forever and become lost media, which is very sad because it's a really cool game and it actually introduced a lot of really cool little VR things that people use today that I bet could be traced back to that, and they don't get the credit that they're due. But I think that that's going to happen a lot in the industry. We're just, because it's moving so fast and everything, that people are coming up with really cool things and then other people are using those cool things and it's just getting lost in the sauce. But yeah, if you happen to have that game for some reason, or you know someone that has it or something, I definitely checking it out. Great game, Stormland. Really hope that it comes to PSVR 2. But yeah, that's the drama for your mama today. Another game, which what does it mean? What does that mean for any game? Does that mean any game could just be pulled off? I wonder if from what I saw, I don't think there was any reason listed. So yeah, that's it. I don't know if you enjoy this type of video. I enjoy talking about this kind of stuff. Like, I don't have anybody to talk about it with, so it's just my chance to talk to you, and you can tell me how you feel about that or respond in the comments, and then we can, do the whole conversation fun thing. It's great. Like, that's why I'm here. You might just be here to like watch a little video or two, but hopefully you're here for something deeper than that. I have no idea. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you all for coming through. If you do like this, let me know. If you don't like this, let me know as well, and I can stop mixing these in. But yeah, I like spieling more than I like writing and doing all that and this, but I love to just talk. So yeah, if you want to just talk, if you want to just hang out, do this kind of stuff, it's great. But yeah, friggin' subscribe. I mean, come on, nah. End of video.